Wine is emotions. Wine is a moment, is a relationship, is a kind of liberty, the freedom associated to sharing not only words or philosophies, sharing time. And time passes so fast, then wine is a good excuse to live with him a little bit.
Welcome to the Cultural Lounge podcast from Assouline, a curated sonic experience that brings together artists, visionaries, and tastemakers in conversation from around the world. I'm your curator, Alex Assouline. Today, we're traveling to Paris to learn the nuances of fine wines with Enrico Bernardo and Sebastien Labe. In 2004, Enrico Bernardo became the youngest person named the best sommelier of the world. Since then, he's opened restaurants like the Michelin star holding Il Vino and Gust, and written 5 books, including How to Taste Wine, How to Pair Wine, and Assouline's own The Impossible collection of wine. Sebastien Labe started his career at the Louis XV in Monaco for Alain Ducasse. He's worked his way up to executive head sommelier for the Yannick Aleno Group, Cheval Blanc Courchevel, and LVMH Hotel Management. Both Enrico and Sebastien understand wines deeply and will surely have a lot to talk about. I can't wait to hear what they have to say. So, let's enter the Culture Lounge.
Hi Enrico.
Hi, Seb.
How are you?
Very fine. Happy to see you. Long time now.
Me too. How was your summer? You travel a lot?
Not really. I was in the mountain drinking good wines with friends. I have a countryside feeling. And I stopped in Burgundy as usual to have a feeling about the harvest, and it was nice. And you?
Oh, really good. You spoke about mountains. I remember about our first meeting in Courchevel in 2008. You remember?
I remember you came at the restaurant,
Yeah.
tasting a wine, but I remember you in a Maurice in Paris when
Yes.
you was in the service.
But I was a baby sommelier.
Me, I was baby too. It's 20 and more years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, it was yesterday. Each time I see you, I always thinking about Courchevel and your amazing concept about food and wine. And wine and food. It was not food and wine, but wine and food. And it was a really good experience and something unusual.
Wine first. It's like in your home, you go in the wine cellar, you pick a bottle, just because this day your eyes go in that direction. You say, okay, I want to have this tonight because it's the feeling of the day, the night, what I would like to have. More white, more red, more Burgundy, more Bordeaux, more discovery wine. And you can improvise a food. So the idea in the restaurant was, is like home. You want to drink a nice wine, and then you can create a dish with what you have in your refrigerator. So the wine first, every time, always for me was that.
I perfectly understand what you mean.
But you did the same.
Every day,
Yeah.
every time. We are involved in the wine business. It's more than a job. It's like a religion or an obsession, if I can say. You spoke about the emotion you want to have or the feeling of the day. And all the time when I go to my cellar or I'm at the restaurant, I'm always looking for the emotion. This small thing which bring the wine alive, like bring you something additional, something more.
Yesterday night, I was cooking for myself and for my girlfriend, and I go to the wine cellar, and I saw a bottle of Fixin from Amélie Berthaud. So it's a simple appellation. It's not Musigny or Chambertin. It's a nice wine from Burgundy, very reasonable price, but wonderful producer and beautiful vintage. I opened the bottle. It was 1 week that I don't have wine, and I felt this emotion. I say, first note, so pure, so clear, so fruity, so just beautiful. And this is the wine feeling, I think, because every day, if you have, how many times we did wine tasting in Burgundy or in Rhône or in Bordeaux, we try 100 wine in a day. We visit 5 wineries in a day. So it's like very tough work. But this kind of emotion you can have only, I think, with food, with a nice company, and you create a little bit the waiting. You have to wait a little bit the wine. And we know very well because you have so many experience in your business, in Cheval Blanc, in the dining room. The guests come to visit you and ask your suggestion. All times the questions are different, and so you have to adapt yourself with your wine list. But if you are able to pick the wine to the right person, you create something that is a souvenir for a life.
For sure. When you take time to understand exactly what the guests expect, which kind of wine he used to drink, which kind of wine or grape he enjoy, you can make the best suggestion. And if it's the right day, with the right bottle, you can create this wonderful moment for him.
Yeah.
And it's become magic.
Some guests come friend. After years, the wine is a good excuse to meet people and have a good relationship with them. I have a question. If you have to do one example of when you say, I did so well my job, I found it the right bottle for this person, for this occasion, you have a souvenir?
I have several souvenir memories in my mind, but I have one. I was in Courchevel, and a guest came to me and told me, Sebastien, tonight is the birthday of my wife, and I want to do something special. I say, okay.
What means
yes.
special?
Yeah. What means special? When you can buy
Everything.
what means special? And I told him, we will not book a table at the gastronomic restaurant. And he looked at me a little bit surprised. Said, okay, why? Are you fully booked? I said, no. You gave me the guideline to something special. So we're going to create something special for you and your wife. And we were lucky because the most beautiful apartment at the top of the hotel was empty this night. So I called the majordome and told him, okay, tonight we will organize something. So clear the room, make everything wonderful, and prepare the sound system, because I know this guy loves classic music. And when they came to the lobby, I take them directly to the apartment. I have already prepared a wonderful bottle of Krug Clos du Mesnil, because I know it's his wife's favorite champagne, and 2 glasses just on the table with the view on the mountains.
The atmosphere, the situation.
The situation, and we start to speak about wine together. And he's really a big wine connoisseur. And he told me, what can we drink in this place for this special moment? Something unbelievable. And you know, it's not a question or matter of money. We don't speak about money. I have to find something which is able to, even for him, create the special moment. And I told him, okay, the easiest way, we can go to Cheval Blanc, because I know he's a Cheval Blanc lover. And he told me, okay, but which vintage? I told him, you know, the easiest way for me is to suggest the 1947, the best vintage of the century, the 100-point Parker wine. And he told me, but you will suggest something different, isn't it? I told him, exactly. I'm going to suggest 1959. Are you sure it's going to be better than
47?
47? I thought, no, it's going to be totally different. We cannot compare to 47 because it's not the same balance and kind of aromas, but this wine now is deep, silky, intense, delicate. I'm pretty sure you're going to find something exceptional. He told me, okay, here we go. When you finish your speech and it's time to open and pull out the cork, you need to be confident. And honestly, it was probably the most wonderful bottle of 59 I opened. The wine was just outstanding. it was exceptional, even for me,
Yeah.
to have the chance to try one more time this wonderful wine. But at the end, over the wine, it's more the global experience for the guest. And wine is one piece and the backbone of the experience. But when you create something which is staying in the memory.
Wine is emotions. Wine is a moment, is a relationship, is a kind of liberty, the freedom associated to sharing not only words or philosophies, sharing time. And time passes so fast, then wine is a good excuse to live with him a little bit.
And for you, what is your best your best move?
I have many emotions in the wine. At all times, wines for me remind a situation, a person, aromas, a taste, something different. Of course, individually, I have one or two moments that I remind like was yesterday. The first time that I recognize an aroma in a wine. You know, when you are in the school, they explain you how to taste the wine, the color, the nose, the taste, and all complexity that is inside the wine. And the day when I recognized my first aroma that I recognized was the green olives. And it's not strawberry, it's not black pepper, it's not more usual aroma in the wine.
Yes, but it's more or less something pretty common for Italian guy.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Maybe makes sense.
The green olive, I remember very well. And said, I was with my parents. I said, I smell, it's the green olive. I insist in that. My parents, if you say, maybe we don't know. But I was so sure. I said, wow, I can do that. So this is extraordinary. When you are young and you heard the teachers and the wine lovers that speak about wines, you can be a little bit lost at the beginning. But when you feel the first time that you can, is an emotion quite unique.
You need a training, and your palate need to be trained to understand and to be able to have the feeling on each wine. And step by step, you realize it's like an athlete, someone in the sport.
Yeah.
You need to make your training, and more you train, more you are in the detail.
It's a discipline.
For sure.
It's only theory that you study. You had experience in the countryside, in the wine region, and you heard about the wine producer, then explain you. They can interpret the soil, the grape, the vintage. Something that disturbed me a little bit in my work when I have wine lovers in front of me, and they say to me, but not complicate the wine. Just say, I enjoyed or not enjoyed. It's good or not good. But you have to associate the culture of the wine. So you have to know why a Nebbiolo is tannic, and you enjoy this kind of tannins if you compare with the Merlot that is not so tannic, it's more soft. So the culture and the studying process is so important to associate to your feeling.
And when you mean culture, for me, it's culture of the wine, like part of the theory, but also the culture of what you are used to drink. Because I always had this question to the guest when they told me in the restaurant, okay, I want to have a full body wine. Okay. Where are you from? I come from Minnesota. We are used to drink blah, blah. Okay. So if you are used to drink Napa wines or wines from Mendoza or Chile, okay, I understand what you mean about the full body. So you expect something mature with a really rich body and spiciness. And if you come from Alsace or Germany or Austria, you ask me something full body, I will never suggest something from Argentina, for example, because you are used to drink maybe Blaufränkisch. So even the education, because if your father gave you your first training with Burgundy, or if your father gave you first training with Bordeaux wines, your standards will be really different
The parameters are different, of course.
Exactly. And when you're going to speak about wine, it's always regarding your parameter, your personal history.
It's interesting when you speak wine with people is they know probably one region very well. But if you you just have you tried a vin jaune in your life? No, what is it vin jaune? It's probably something that they don't like. In the same time, they think that they are wine lovers. So it is a process very long. Humility, curiosity permit really to enjoy the wine 360 degrees. In this moment, for example, I'm really in love, even if it's not something appreciated for everyone. Sometimes it's trendy, sometimes it's not. But I love the skin contact wines, the orange wine. But I love sometimes. I love like vin jaune, sometimes, not every day, not with every food. And I love only where this tradition still from centuries, not something that happened in a new wine region. That is nice to do the skin contact, do orange wine, but no history behind that. So it's interesting because a red wine lover wine, this kind of wine can't understand, can't like. But if you try to have a glass of orange wine with 5 different cheeses after a nice bottle of red, said, it's interesting, this wine.
I had this experience at the beginning of my career with the vin jaune from Makhija. The first time I tried it, I said, "What? It's disgusting.
Yeah.
What is this? Oh, I don't like."
Yeah.
The taste was so strong, so intense, with a high acidity. And the first time I tried it, I was totally lost. And I said, I don't like. Because I was lost, I closed myself and said, no, it's not good. I don't like it. But 2-3 years later, when I educate a little bit more my palate, I came back to vin jaune, to the yellow wine, and said, it's pretty interesting. And I start to drink it. And now, if you open, we share a bottle.
That's wonderful
it's
wine.
something amazing. It's the kind of wine you have to drink several times before to get the perception and understand the.
To appreciate. What is the trend now? How do you see in your restaurant, in your hotels, the trend in that moment? What the people asking?
Oh, we had a lot of requests about Burgundy 5-6 years ago. It was a really big peak. And now the French wines in France remains what the people want to drink. Even the foreigners who come to visit France, because when they are in France, they want to drink French wines. But the French people are more open on the
Discover wines
to
from
discover
other
the wine from other places. But when they come to celebrate something, or when they come in family for birthday or for business, they always come back to the classics.
Yeah, sure. I feel in the last 20 years was very classic at the end of 90s, beginning of 2000. So very Bordeaux red, white Burgundy, some Rhone, some Champagne, very work classic. The more and more from 2010 to now, the process moving from Bordeaux style of wine to Burgundy style wine. And this changed a little bit the taste of the guest, because we pass from something tannic, rich, a little bit dense with a touch of oakiness to something more crispy, juicy, fruity, floral, lighter, acidity. So all region that have this kind of characteristic was better considered. The Loire, the Alsace, the Galicia. If I have to do a vision of the next 10 years, I'm quite comfortable to say probably the next trend will be not so light wine, but more something comfortable to come back to the classic style. So softer, tender, fruitness, a touch of oakiness, not so bad to have.
You know, it's like all the trend, when it goes too far in one way,
It's come back.
it's come back, but too far in another way. And year after year,
The
we
balance.
find the balance.
Yeah.
And I think even the trend of natural wine, for me, that it's not the point of natural or not natural. It's always they oppose the natural to the conventional.
Yeah, it's more philosophic way to live than really the quality of the wines. Yeah.
Exactly. And when I create a wine list, I'm not pick and select only the wine I want to put in my cellar. I try to make, like the painter, like a palette of color. I try to have the largest selection of typology of wines to be able to give the best answer to any request.
Yeah, of course.
Because my taste, it's
It's not
really
universal.
personal. It's not universal, but for sure. And my taste, it has changed a lot since I start to work. Since 20 years, my taste changed. Yesterday evening, for example, I was with a good friend. We went to a small restaurant in his neighborhood, and we hit like a beetroot carpaccio and tuna tartare. And in the natural mindset of wine pairing, you can say, okay, it might be better to have a white wine, maybe a little bit full
Yeah.
body, but touch of crispy. No, at the end, I said, oh, I just want to drink a glass of red.
A good wine, for sure.
And-
Yeah, for sure.
Without thinking about the food, I just want to drink a good red wine, only one glass, but at the end, more and more people, they select the wine because they want to drink
This wine. Yeah.
and maybe one bottle of white. Even if they're going to have some meat, they probably have only one glass of red,
Yeah.
but they want to have the same wine for all the dinner.
Yeah, I think the pairing food and wine did an incredible revolution in the last years, thanks to the producer and thanks to the chefs, because the chefs too, they do quality of food lighter, they dish with a lot of sauce, add less and less true. So it's more in the center.
That's true, because the offer of food now is more deeper on the product, focus on the product. Most of the chefs are looking for something clear with only 2 or 3 ingredients.
That's it, yeah.
And it's more or less the same thing in the wine. We are using less, producers are using less and less new oak to give more fruitiness and something more, how can I say, the purity
Yeah,
of
the
the fruit
accessibility.
and the accessibility, of course.
After years, I can say then the wine move in all aspects, production, drinking, service around. So it's interesting because never you stop to learn things, never you stop to discover a wine regions in the world, a wine producer. And we have a lot of chance because I don't know if in many works you can discuss every day, learning in the same time a subject that normally you know, but you never finish to learn something.
I choose this way and become a sommelier. When I understood, I will be able to learn until the last day of my life. It's one of the first things I share with my sommelier is you are lucky because until your last day, you will be able to learn. And what you learn at 20, maybe at 30, you're going to have a different position, and 40, maybe also you're going to change your mind about it. We have a job which is alive.
Our job is what was at the beginning, discover
And suggest.
suggest. And we have the choice. We have a big choice now. We never had so good wines in the planet of the world in this quantity that we had in our life.
I agree. And always when we start to speak about wine, there is never ending. I really appreciate this moment.
It's so important to have wine friends in this world. And thank you all time for your time and your generosity. And happy to share a nice bottle of you next time. I have 2 or 3 bottles that I have in mind.
We're gonna have a lot of good time in the next
For sure.
day week, years, and decades.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Culture Lounge. If you want to dive deeper into the world of fine wine, Assouline has many books to get your way, like The Impossible Collection of Wine, The Impossible Collection of Champagne, and Wine and Travel France, or Wine and Travel Italy. I'll leave you with a fun bit of trivia I learned from the Impossible Collection of Champagne book. Did you know that the origins of champagne might actually involve the British? In the 18th century, English merchants added sugar to still wines from the Champagne region, sparking re-fermentation and creating the bubbles we now love. But the story doesn't end there. Monks like Dom Pérignon and Dom Thierry Ruinart also played key roles in perfecting champagne. Over the years, innovations like thicker glass bottles and aging of the lees have refined the process. So, while many contributed, champagne is truly a collaborative creation. To learn more about the intersection of culture and luxury, head to assouline.com. À bientôt!